In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
All right, we're back over at the Sinterfire booth over here. What booth number is this? This is
2311.
2311, and we're over here with Keith Porco, who's going to give us a little bit of information about the Sinterfire round of ammunition. Keith, thank you for coming back and made a special trip back here. Right, so what can you tell us about these things?
Well, usually when I start talking about Sinterfire, I go all the way back to the beginning. About 20 years ago, started making a compressed copper and tin frangible bullet, specifically for shooting steel targets, no ricochet. So that transitioned to law enforcement military training, lead-free, so there's no lead contamination to the environment or the shooter, and no splashback from ricochet. And anybody that's ever shot competition that's watching this knows that they've been hit by bullet fragments or jacket, and it's no fun. So that's transitioned into Sinterfires now are about 20 years old. We sell millions and millions of projectile bullets to Winchester, Federal, Speer, Fiocchi, almost every ammunition company in the world. We've also transitioned to our own line of loaded ammunition with our projectiles for training and competition use, and also for self-defense or duty use. So you can see by the gel blocks here, our training ammunition penetrates soft tissue or dirt or earth just like a full metal jacket, so it won't break up. The bullet has to hit something as hard as itself or harder to disintegrate. But in our self-defense line, we drill a hollow point in the nose of the bullet, so when it impacts soft tissue, it fragments and penetrates. And that's that round. That's a 45 auto.
45 auto.
Yep, that's a 155 grain bullet, and it's represented in, I think, one of the top blocks. This is a 40 Smith & Wesson right here. So anytime you build a bullet for defensive purposes, you want massive expansion and penetration, or massive fragmentation and penetration. So here you can see we've got good fragmentation, really good penetration. So if you're in a school, a ship, a prison, a jail, or even in the room here at the SHOT Show, and you have to shoot and you miss your intended target, instead of the bullet hitting the concrete floor and ricocheting and hitting somebody it's not supposed to, it's going to disintegrate. But when it hits its intended target, that's the performance you get.
So with that many fragments in there, that's a pretty devastating self-defense.
It's a good, it helps the human body lose blood pressure and shut them off.
So it will help you end the threat in a pretty expedient amount of time.
Help you win the fight, and in a missed shot situation, which unfortunately in law enforcement situations are on I like to call them two-way ranges, where you're getting, the threats coming to you as well. You're pretty amped up, and you're probably going to miss. And you don't want your bullet, as a police officer or concealed carry holder, we're responsible for every round that we fire. So if we miss, we could be trying to stop the worst bad guy ever, but if we miss and hit something we're not supposed to, we're responsible for that.
We already know that there's at least a 30% diminishing of motor skills when we're in a high confrontation
If
situation.
not more, yes.
And we know that police, law enforcement do have a pretty reasonably high miss rate when they're involved in an encounter.
Because of that,
and that's with an excessive amount of training versus a civilian who might be called to, use a gun in a self-defensive situation.
Yep.
So, this also cuts down, I imagine, on your own personal liability, since,
We've talked to some insurance companies, and they're not willing to fully jump on board to say we're going to lower your rates for your indoor range just because you're shooting this. But you're on the right track.
You're a liability of causing unintended
Absolutely.
damage to a target you're not intending to hit.
Absolutely.
All right, so this is a pretty good. Now, as far as we know that there's going to be a weight difference when it comes to the projectile itself.
Yes.
Because you have no lead in it. So when it comes to reloading applications, are there going to be differences in reloading specifications that somebody would normally be using lead and switching over to a compound?
Well, typically, in a nutshell, you can use in 9mm, for instance. Our 9mm is 100 grain versus a 115 or 124. So to load our 100 grain bullet, you can start out with like 124 grain load data and start from there. Or you can go to Hodgdon.com, Ramshot.com, or Sinterfire.com, and we have loading data available for the reloader.
Right, so your rounds will be able to handle the plus P loads.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, cool. And what cartridges are these available in?
So in pistol calibers, in ammunition, we do 380, 9mm, 40, 45, 38 special, all the bread and butter calibers. In rifle calibers, we do 223, 308, 762 by 39. We even load a 30 carbine round for Thunder Ranch. So bullet-wise, we make 380s, we make 4.6 HKs, 5.7s, and a 50 caliber, a 650 grain 50 caliber that it's lead-free, frangible, it's safe to shoot on steel. I can shoot it 5 feet away. It disintegrates. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I have to talk to you about my 500 Smith & Wesson mag.
We make a bullet for that. We'll make a bullet for that.
A little conversation off camera about that.
Sure. Absolutely.
So if anybody wants to get in touch with the company and take a look at what you guys have, you got a website?
It's Sinterfire.com.
All right, and it's Sinterfire.
Yep, Sinterfire. Sinterfire.
One word, and that's .com.
You can swing by our website. You can buy a loaded ammo or bullet components for reloading. You can get a hold of me directly or Brian Benini for technical advice. Most of that stuff comes to me for reloading and stuff like that. And I deal with a lot of law enforcement, technical questions, and things like that. So, yeah, get a hold of us directly. We'll help you out.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Porco.
Thanks a lot.
Much, Keith.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers.
Senate rights, when politicians take from you and me the very liberties that set us